If you bring up your fantasies in the wrong way, she will probably not only just say no, but she will feel very unsafe. So I'm going to talk to you about some very tangible phrases that you can use to open up the conversation about what your desires and fantasies are, and about what kind of reaction you get from women when you do open up your desires and fantasies, and what you can do about that. Before I go into this, I want you to know that I'm vetting for 8 positions for my Empower program. It's coming up February 26th. If you're interested in joining this incredible transformational program for men, where you learn to step into your confidence and you're going to learn everything that we're talking about here, but at a much deeper level, your kinks and your desires, feeling confident, feeling masculine, feeling powerful. Links in the description below. Sign up for an interview as soon as possible. I hope to see you there. A man finally shares his fantasy. Okay, he's finally decided, okay, I'm going to say it, I'm going to do it. And when he tells his partner, his wife, she freezes. She just like, she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know what to say. She feels like she's been thrown like a massive medicine ball into her face or something. And now he feels rejected, and he feels like, what did I do that for? Why has this happened? You know, I have revealed the desires that I have, and she's sort of completely pulled away and frozen, and now she feels really pressured. So it doesn't mean this relationship has changed or that there's anything wrong with your fantasy at all, because there's nothing wrong with the fantasies that we have or the desires that we have. Again, it's just because it's done probably in the wrong manner. And we want to do it in a way that she is going to feel really safe and accounted for. Your fantasy, you may have had this fantasy for a long time, a desire for a long time. You've played it out, you've thought about it, it's been there. It could be decades that you've been holding on to it. For her, it may be the first time she hears about it, the first time she's ever heard you say those words. So we want to go in. You want to go in a way that she's going to absorb the information easily. So she's going to be prepared for the information. Okay? So it's not the fantasy that's your problem. It's the approach. And that's what we're going to focus on today. So why do men kind of mess it up? Okay, why does it get messed up like that? You think, well, I finally said it. Like, what's her problem? Well, there's a few reasons why it can get messed up. First of all, you might have introduced it like a demand. So you say, I want you to do this. I want you to know that. And it's kind of in a demand type of way. And she can't take that in. It's just too much. It's overload for her, right? It may have been introduced as a test. So are you open-minded or not? Like, come on. And you don't want to test her. That is not making her feel safe at all. She loves you. She'll do anything for you. I'm telling you, anything. But she doesn't want to feel like you're testing her or forcing her or pushing her. Okay. You might introduce it where it brings up a lot of shame. So where the shame is within you. So you're kind of awkward. You're apologizing for what you really want to say. And you have kind of this nervous laughter. That's not going to make her feel safe at all. You have to be able to come in confident and fully embracing what it is that you feel. Right? That's what we work on in Empower, is how do I come in confident with this desire that I have that I can expose to her. And it may have been a long time before you get to that point of actually telling her what you've said, and you know, you've just said it in the wrong way at the wrong place, and now she's just there's a lot of resentment that starts to set in from her, because she's like, well, why didn't you tell me before? Like, what took you so long, right? So there's ways that we can deal with that too, and it's more about the gentle approach, right, when it comes to that. And finally, you might have introduced this without any kind of building any kind of container of safety for her, right? So you haven't created consent with her. There's no sort of pacing in the way that you've brought it out to her, and there's no emotional safety that's taking place here. You've just and there's no blame here for you, because I commend you if you have been able to say your desire and fantasy. And if you've already said it and it was a disaster, Do not give up. Keep going on in this video. I'm going to help you get the words that are going to actually help you the next time you bring it up to her. You can have another chance, okay? You can have as many chances as you want, really. Don't give up, guys. Before I get into the details of that, I want you to understand like what women hear when you tell them things that are like a shock to the system or something that they don't know about you that you've been hiding for a long time. So especially about desires and sex and fantasies, right? She might feel like, am I enough? I know a lot of men have heard that from their wife. Aren't I enough? Right? Or is he comparing me? Like, again, feelings of not feeling enough, like you're being compared. Or is this required to keep him? She's wondering, do I have to actually do this to keep him in my life? She might be thinking, will I be judged if I say no? Or will he leave me if I'm not that girl? That's a big fear that women have. Like, will he leave me if I don't say yes and don't do what he wants? So you have to understand that there's these thoughts that are going through women's heads when sort of unexpected desires and fantasies come out. But your job here is to make her feel chosen, okay? She's the one. You want to be with her. That's it. You've already made that decision. And you don't want her to feel like you are evaluating her, right? So this is also why we're going to get into some really good dialogue about that. Now, exact scripts. I want to get into that. The exact scripts for what you can say and different types of styles of script that I think are going to really help you. So I'm going to give it to you word for word. I'm going to put these word for word scripts on a PDF. You go to the description. You can access this PDF, okay, just by signing up for it. If you want to like start to practice these scripts, and I would suggest to do that. So let's say you want to be script number 1. You want to be soft and confident in your approach. You could say, I want to share something with you that turns me on. And I want you to know there's no pressure, right? I just want closeness and honesty with you. That sounds really nice, right? No forcing her, no giving her an out if it's not the time for her, you know, and then you can approach it another time, okay? So gentle, soft, be in a good place when you're doing this as well. You take some big breaths. Okay, I'm going to go and say this. Script number 2, where there's more sort of polarity and leadership involved here. This might be more for you. I've been feeling more desire for you lately. And I'd love to tell you what I've been imagining. If it's a no, it'd still be good. If it's a no, I'll still be good. I want you to feel safe with me. You can actually literally say, I want you to feel safe with me, right? So you can give her an out, know that's okay, whatever she's feeling. And again, the safety element is really important. Number 3, script 3, specific but safe, okay? I've been fantasizing about you in a more intense dynamic, more control and surrender. I'm not attached to it happening. I'm more interested in how it feels to talk about it together, right? We have to remember that you want to take this step by step by little step, okay? Don't go 0 to 1,000. That could be way too much, and that's why you get women freezing, freaking out, and saying no immediately. So let's just talk about it. What is it going to be like to actually talk about it? Script number 4, a consent-forward script. Are you open to a desire conversation tonight? 10 minutes maybe. You can say yes, no, or not right now if it's not the right time. Okay, so are you open to a desire conversation tonight? This is something that you can set up with her, right? And if it's not tonight, then how about tomorrow night? Can we make a time to have this conversation between the two of us? So it gives her time to prepare for something that's going to be around desires, something that's going to be maybe something you haven't talked about before, and gives her time to prepare, and you create that container for her to feel safety again. Script number 5. Now, this is what you can say if she reacts sort of an awkwardly way from any of the other scripts before, or something that you said to her about wanting to discuss your desires or fantasies. You can say, thank you so much for listening to this. We don't have to solve it right now. I care more about your safety than getting my way, right? You want to give her the power. And when you give the feminine the power, she feels softer inside, she feels safer inside, and she will be much more open to discussing things with you. Now, just for fun, not just for fun, but for you to understand what not to say, okay? These are lines that that when you lead with these lines, there is no safety, that there's no safety that the feminine feels, and you usually get negative reactions. So if you say things, if you'd love me, you'd do it. Okay, that's pressure, pushing. My ex used to, again, comparison. My ex used to do it. What's wrong with you, you know? Don't compare it with anything else. This is something new. This is a new dynamic between you and her. Come on, it's not a big deal. Well, to you it's not a big deal maybe because you've thought about it for years and years, but for her it's the first time she's heard about it. And she needs time to think about it, to digest it, to process it, to talk about it. So it is a big deal. You're being prudish. That's really unfair, right? To say that to somebody who's been hit with something that maybe they've never heard of before. And it's criticizing. And so that is not a place of safety. Other girls are into this. There are lots of women into it. There's lots of women not into it either, but you don't want to get into comparison. And finally, if you divulge your fantasies and you divulge your desires and you get sort of a negative response and you just sort of cut it off, say, fine, forget it. That is really, that's something that I've heard that happens a lot. And that does absolutely not create safety for her. She's suddenly feeling like cut out from you, from intimate connection with you, cut out from being able to express what she really feels or even knowing what she really feels. So instead, it would be much better to then say, well, I would really love to hear how you're feeling in this situation, when it would be a good time for you to talk about this some more. I don't want to be with anyone else but you. And so let's make this a conversation that is between us, that feels safe for you, and, you know, really getting into that kind of language. Are you starting to get what I'm talking about? So this, I think, is going to be really, really helpful for you if you are desiring to say something. You have these desires that need to be expressed. You want to become vulnerable with your partner, but you really don't know how to begin the conversation. So get the PDF below, where I will have written out the exact words that I've mentioned in this video that could be really helpful for you. If you have any questions or comments, please put below any comments that you have about what's happened for you, the experiences that you've had, what the responses have been from your partner, and then I can help you out and respond with some of these other kinds of phrases and other kinds of ways. Most importantly, to think about, how do I create a safe container so that my partner can absorb the information easily? Okay, if you want to go deep, if you want to really embrace this kind of information, come and join me in Empower Cohort Group. It's a 6-week program. I am really excited to get 8 guys involved in the program with me. I'm vetting for these 8 positions right now. Just in the description below is the interview link. Go there, sign up, and let's just have a conversation and see if this is something that is right for you. I will talk to you again very soon. Much love making.